4 years ago, this was all raw land and a wall tent. Today, 8 buildings. We did it ourselves, debt-free, in less than 18 months of actual building time. Before we show you the buildings, you need to understand building in Alaska.
Everything here just costs more, 25 to 40% more than the lower 48.
Shipping in Alaska is limited. We only have 3 ways of getting things. That's via barge, via truck, or airplane. So getting supplies up here is really hard. Plus, we have a limited number of suppliers that are available in Alaska. We have a tiny building window in Alaska, about 4 to 5 months from May to September, in order to get everything done before the ground freezes. Sometimes we can't even start in May because the ground is still frozen. That means no digging post holes, no setting foundations, anything like that. Over 4 years' time, that means we've had about 12 to 18 months of actual build time, which is pretty amazing.
For all 8 buildings, let us show you how we did it.
They say never to get chickens before you have a chicken coop. Well, we've ignored that advice twice, and it's totally paid off. The biggest priority when you have baby chicks living in your tent with you is a chicken coop. This chicken coop was the first building we built on the property. We used logs that we had on the grounds. We went to a local building supply store for the materials. The materials wound up costing us $1,200 for this small 8x8 building. And that is because we found out that that local building supply store really caters to big construction outfits, and we were small fry, so we really paid for it. That was our first valuable lesson, and luckily that was on this first building. From then on, we learned we need to get quotes from various places. In 2024, when this no longer served us as a chicken coop, we decided to transform it into a greenhouse. In April of 2021, we ordered lumber from a local mill. We ordered some rough cut lumber with the promise of it being ready in May of 2021. May of 2021 rolled around, no lumber. June of 2021 rolled around, no lumber. We started to get pretty worried then because we have such a short building window. We wound up having to go to one of the big box stores and start getting our lumber that way. Pretty much the world shut down. So that means supplies were very hard to get at that point in time. Lumber was no exception to that. Big box stores do offer discounts for big purchases. You can also submit projects for bid. Buying in bulk saves serious money, even at Alaska prices. The summer of 2021 was brutal as far as weather goes. It rained so much that summer. We also had terrible windstorms. We built a ramp to take materials up and down into the house. Then when we got the early frost date, we decided we had to build stairs like fast. Richard built a set of stairs that was supposed to be temporary. Well, those temporary stairs wound up being with us for 4 years. I think about everybody fell off them except Richard. We called them the dust stairs. September 30th, 2021, we got the house dried in. Dried in means the roof is on, windows and doors are installed, and the structure is protected from weather. You can work inside regardless of rain or snow. September 30th is now our anniversary of the day we got out of the tent. The total cost of this cabin was about $45,000, but that included a lot of tools that we had to buy to build this thing. Table saws, miter saws, you name it saws, we had to buy. That's pretty darn good, I think, in the grand scheme of things. And this would have cost significantly less to build in the lower 48. For a 2-story cabin built debt-free, we will take it. The first winter here in Alaska, we had piles of firewood with tarps over or plastic over it. We had to dig that out under 4 feet of snow and ice, and it was a challenge. It was such a challenge that our next priority became the woodshed for that next summer. The summer of 2022, we started construction on this woodshed. We started using spruce beetle-kill lumber that we had on the property as the framework for this. And that was a lot of fun to work with. In the midst of that project, after 110 consecutive days of rain, the area flooded. The flood covered all the materials that we had set aside to finish the house, in water. We did not feel comfortable at that point using that stuff that was in the flood on the house anymore. So we decided to use it on the wood shop here. The T111 came from that, as well as other components in here. We finished the woodshed, and then we decided to build the extension for our equipment. In the summer of 2023, we decided that we wanted to increase our flock size. We really wanted to have a lot of meat birds, so we decided to build a 12 by 20 chicken coop. We've also built a room inside to store feed and other materials to have all the chicken stuff located at one spot. When we built this chicken coop, we found a really good local supply store that really did us well, and we continue going with them. So the cost of this building wound up costing us around $5,000 to build. We wound up using that building supply store since, and we're very happy to be able to have a relationship with a sales rep that kind of guides us in our projects. It's been a real awesome thing, because a lot of times when you go to big box stores and you need assistance, it's very difficult. The summer of 2024, building a chicken coop was not enough for us. We also needed a storage shed. Life on the homestead requires machines like snow throwers and wood splitters and things you need to keep the homestead running. Things that make life easier and more fun. We built a small storage shed for essential machinery. We knew we needed storage because, well, we had that flood the year before, and where we were planning on keeping all our equipment and stuff, that area got flooded. We thought we better build something higher. So we built this 8x8 storage shed. But then we got goats. Thank you, Flat Tire Farms. Meet Charlie, Tiny, and Big Girl. We converted this storage container into a full-fledged insulated and sheathed goat house because goats will eat everything. This is probably our actually first complete building, and it was for animals. The goats needed somewhere safe to be during the winter. This building cost $2,500, but this is probably the only building that is completely done. Which means we needed somewhere to store our equipment now, but we'll get to that. After having the goats a little over a year in the summer of 2025, we decided that goats were too much for us at that point in our lives. We transferred them to an amazing family that could give them more space and more time. All the things we felt like we couldn't give them. So then, transformed this back into being a place to store our equipment yet again. The summer of 2024, we needed a place to store things. So we decided to build a 12 by 24 storage shed. We were offered a great commercial stove from a friend. Because we cook everything from scratch and preserve everything, we thought it'd be great to have a big, huge kitchen. We had pillaged our storage shed for the goats, and now we had equipment and supplies everywhere. When you do everything from scratch on a homestead, you need space. You need things like canning jars and pressure cookers and all the things that go into preserving and maintaining a homestead. Like meat processing tools for hunting. We need an island for processing meat and fish. Our cabin's too small, we can't fit it all. We preserve food year round. I also want to say too, like, we built this porch. I love this porch. I love this porch. This porch is amazing. It's so nice to sit out here in the summer and just watch everything. I know we have plastic up here right now, but that's only because we want it shielded from the winter and the weather, and this gives us a nice little protection so we can still be out here. This is my favorite building. This building cost $7,000. 2 more buildings, which brings us to 2025. Let's go check them out. In the summer of 2025, we decided to build a 8x12 generator room. During the winter in Alaska, we've been storing our generator in the cabin, which is big and cumbersome. The generator will not run when it's below -25 degrees Fahrenheit, and this generator room solves that issue. This generator room is insulated, ventilated, and protected from the elements. Now it runs when we need it, and we can't even hear it. This building cost $2,200. Woo! In 2025, we converted our wood shed into a chicken coop. So we needed a new woodshed. And that's where this baby comes in. This is my favorite building on the whole property for a number of reasons. One, we got all this wood from spruce beetle-kill right in this area, so I didn't have to move it far. There was no truck into any hardware store to get all the lumber for it. Any building materials that I did use on this were left over from other projects, and they are literally pieced together. So the cost of this baby is one of the best parts of this building. It was free. Yeah, $0.00. And I'm hoping next year to build like 2 more of these. I love this. I love the rustic look of this, and I love the cost of it. It's beautiful and the best price. So there's 8 buildings, roughly 4 years, and about $65,000 in total. Completely debt-free. And that's in Alaska monies. So in the lower 48, it would cost significantly less. If you're thinking about doing this, you can do this. We had no construction experience, and it kind of shows, but it shows. Let's not kid ourselves. It shows, but we learned so much. We learned so much from you guys too, as viewers. You guys were piping in saying, hey, you might want to check this out. So thank you for that. Lesson 1, get multiple quotes, even from stores you think you know. Lesson 2, buy in bulk whenever possible. Contractor discounts are real, even for small customers. Lesson 3, build relationships with suppliers, but don't be afraid to shop around. Lesson 4, be flexible. That flood could have stopped us. Instead, we adapted. Lesson number 5, use what you have. Leftover lumber, leftover materials, use whatever you have. Repurpose your buildings. Lesson number 6, sometimes buildings change purpose. That's okay, adapt as your needs change. Lesson number 7, build what you need when you need it, not all at once. That's an easy one. That's a good one. Lesson number 8, getting chickens before you have a coop totally works. Twice. From a tent and raw land to 8 buildings, all debt-free. If our family can do this, so can yours. Start small, build smart, and stay out of debt. Shop around, build relationships, use what you have. And don't be afraid to adapt when things don't go as planned. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and we'll reply. Thank you for watching our journey. We hope to see you next week on Life in Alaska.